All right, so here we go on the breakout, and now real big move. Looks like that's Drew Templeton. Is that Brad McCurley?
No, that's,
Yes.
Well, Damage lost 2 players. They lost their Dorito corner and their inside snake guy, which was Justin Rabikoff on this
Well,
snake side.
I'm wondering if those guys stayed out a little bit longer trying to shoot Drew Templeton, which they did. But look at this seesaw battle back and forth in this point as Nicky Cuba gets into Dorito 1, and then also Tampa Bay Damage making moves on the Dorito side as well.
Yeah, you know, losing Drew Templeton over here on the snake side, going all the way up to the diamond on the break. You know, but on the flip side, like you said, Brian, they took out 2 of the damage players real quick right away as well.
Yeah, so it's looking like it's a 3-on-3. Damage has 2 players on the snake side, and then it looks like Nicky's matched up over there on that Dorito side. Both players are on that Dorito 1.
And then Callie is over here in the back bunker on the diamond side of the field, but he's just zoning up on Dorito 1 right now. And here comes number 13, Jason Edwards. And he is in the insert bunker on the diamond side of the field.
Yeah, and he's, like you said earlier, you know, he's one of the strongest insert players, you know, in the game. And this is the type of situation that you want your player like this to be in. Looks like Infamous lost their 3rd body.
Oh, they lose Callie out of that corner, and that allows Jason Edwards to get all the way to the 50-yard line here in the diamond. He's going to try to get a shot on Travis. Yeah, and Travis looks like he got bounced. He immediately guns up. So Travis able to narrowly avoid getting taken out. I think he actually might have got bounced off the arm.
And it looks like actually Nicky just shot his mirror. I was actually in this exact spot that Jason Edwards was in earlier.
Yeah, we actually...
And I was able to come around that corner. He needed to commit a little bit more, and he would have shot Travis.
Oh, and look, Nicky gets another kill. Nice job, man. He gets a shot on Brown. So Keith Brown getting taken out. And so Nicky Cuba is having a point over here. And he's going to have to be, Travis Mansky is going to have to try to shut down Jason Edwards over here. And Nicky Cuba is going to have to try to push up field and stop from getting shot. So, oh, wow, Jason Edwards is doing everything.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, finally gets taken out. So it was all Nicky Cuba for Infamous on that point on the Dorito side of the field. Gets himself at least 2 kills. And good job by Travis Lemansky to tighten up once he got bounced by Jason Edwards. And that's got to be a heartbreaking bounce for Jason Edwards.
Yeah. Looks like it was right on the wrist.
Yeah, you know, with those with the Empire jerseys, I mean, that the elbow pads that are built into the jersey themselves are rather large. So, you know, Travis getting back there.
Designed by Travis
Designed by
Lemansky, you know, for that exact situation. You know,
exactly.
those are the jerseys you want to want to take a couple bounces.
Yep.
Stay in the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the turning point in that game, I mean, obviously it was Nicky Cuba, but I think in the break, you know, getting those 2 eliminations was key to winning that game. And like I said, I'm surprised that Infamous didn't win a little quicker.
All right, let's check out Damage's keys to victory as they just lost that point. The score now 1-1. Mental tenacity is going to be very important for Tampa Bay Damage in this event. That's how they dropped the ball in Phoenix. They came in on that high note, winning Galveston, and they, you know, just kind of, sometimes when teams get on that vibe, they've won 3 events in a row, they just start to coast. It's exactly what happened to them, so they need to maintain that tenacity and that focus. They need to roll their guns. Tampa Bay Damage plays at their best when I'm looking across the field and I see 5 guys up alive in their bunkers rolling their guns. They're very, very good at that. The only other team I would say that potentially can contend with them on that level is potentially, you know, is Moscow Red Legion, and then teamwork. They play so well together, and they have that innate ability to vibe when players are making moves down the field, and they play off each other so well. So mental tenacity, they need to roll the guns, and they need to keep up that teamwork.
Yeah, that teamwork that you mentioned, you know, that's something that we've had a lot in the past, and the great thing about Damage is because they have been a good group of friends and a good group coming up together from the ranks, you know, and they took their lumpings a long time ago.
Yeah, they did.
Coming in there, and you know, there was that turning point, and it was the teamwork. You know, being able to play off of your teammates. Maddie, you know that because you played on the Ironman for so long. You can see what your guy wants to do before he does it, and you can make that quick move off of it.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point, Ryan. I mean, when Dynasty plays, you could say that every single team, but some teams, it's every team, of course, works with some teamwork, but it's the timing of the teamwork that's important. It's the quick bumps. It's you not even having to speak to Oliver or Alex. You see him go. He could be on the complete opposite side of the field, but you see him giddy up, and you know, okay, I know where the variables are. I know which way these guys are shooting. I know what Alex is thinking because I played with him for so long, and then you can just play right off of that, and that's when Dynasty's playing its best, and also Tampa Bay Damage. So here we go on the split screen breakout. Infamous on the right-hand side of your screen. Tampa Bay Damage on the left-hand side. The score 1-1, 16:27 left on the clock, and it looks like 5 players alive for Damage.
Infamous drops a body on that snake side.
Yeah, they lose Callie Rudolph again over here. player, and then they lose Chris Sosine out the center.
And Bobby Vilas,
Vilas,
Brad McCurley, and Chris Sosine all come off at the same time. And here comes Damian Ryan, all 4 of them walking off at the same time. Zach Patient left alone to find for himself.
See a quick kill right here off of the...
Yeah, it's Rumsey El Youssef who's going to probably get that kill on Zach Patient, and he does. So, hey, it is never going to be a good point when you're dying in bunches. Yeah, when it's 5-on-1 and you just lost 4 guys out of their bunkers. So I think they lost Callie off the break, but then immediately after that, just boom, 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 lost 3 more players right after that, and they just, but this is what we've seen. It was Infamous. Infamous came out, got destroyed the first point, and they come out, play a really good point, and Nikki Cuba steps up on that Dorito side of the field, and they were able to tie it up. But then after that, now again, just getting destroyed. So Damage is just, they're trying to find that zone. They're trying to find that those off-the-break shots that served Russ and Legion so well when they played you guys this morning.
Yeah.
So after that loss, what did you guys talk about? Now, I know you guys always meet on the field after the game and have some conversations. What was going on?
You can have all these conversations about playing with heart and doing this and that, but the bottom line, what it came down to is tightening it up and not being overconfident. They're a really good team. One of the best in the leagues, clearly. But we have the ability to beat teams like that, and we've done it a lot in the past. The problem was I feel like we came out there a little lax, assuming that our practice went so well that we were just going to keep rolling through with that sort of thing. Obviously, losing guys off the break really quickly and then losing a second front guy and having to battle back from that is really difficult thing to do. So coming into the second game, what we decided to do is just keep our guns up a little longer and slow our guys down. So and that helped out. Obviously, Thunder getting 2 majors in the first point helps us out substantially as well.
Definitely helped out a little bit.
But they came back out in force, and they're a good team. They're able to play well. We were just able to capitalize on it, and that statistic of us being up 3 points to nothing came in.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Just about 5 seconds to go. And let's see if Infamous can survive the breakout. They double up the back center. You're looking at Infamous on your screen. Doubling up that back center, and they're going to try to break out. And it looks like now Damage is having a hard time staying alive off the break as they lose 2 bodies very fast. No one on the Dorito side left for Damage.
Nikki was shot running out to Dorito 1, but Infamous is stronger here on the Snake side. They have 2 bodies alive, and it looks like Damage has nobody out on that Snake side. So if Damage can capitalize on that Snake side, or if we can get Infamous into this diamond, he can possibly do some damage up the center.
Yeah, and Templeton wants to make a move. I mean, you see from his body language, he definitely wants, he's on his feet. There he goes. He makes the bump, and immediately past that, and he's going to try to get a shot on Justin Rabikov's back. No, he smartly tucks in. Yeah,
Damage just lost another player, so it's looking like it's a 4-on-2 right now. And Justin's looking for some kills. Justin's looking to even this thing up right now. But that's what, like I said earlier, this is a very difficult spot that Justin's in. You're at a disadvantage because you're so far up the field, and unless you make a move like that.
Yeah, and then he just retreated. But that's, I mean, he didn't get shot, so he might have. I think he made it back clean.
He got shot somewhere.
He got shot, I think, in the
I think on the loader, on the barrel or something.
There it is.
Yeah, I saw
something spray off.
Yeah.
So just one player. Oh, I was going to say, there's a penalty. And they're just going to get in, and he's not even going to need to get run down because he got pulled on, I think that was a Justin Rabikov minor penalty.
Well, Justin is not going to the box yet. They need to beat him there, but.
So Justin smartly realizes he got a penalty and sprints back before the flag is able to be
he got another talking penalty, I believe. Someone did. There was a yellow that just went up at the very end.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be on Justin Rabikov. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, obviously, the minor penalty that was called to begin with was a good call because we did see that break on him, Ryan. And for some reason, I think he got another minor, which I'm assuming would be a talking penalty.
Would be the talking penalty for trying to figure out why he got the first penalty.
Yeah,
and that's a thin line right there.
Yeah, I don't know about that call. I mean, it's kind of that's a questionable call for for the judges, but I don't think I personally would have called that. All he's probably doing is asking Matt. He was like, "Hey man, what would I get called?" Because I don't think he even knew he got a minor to begin with.
That's one of those fine lines, like you said. I've definitely asked the refs at the end, like, well, did I shoot him first? And in that Thunder game, a lot of the times I thought I shot the guy first, and they're like, well, no, I shot you. And then the ref kind of, I could see him. He wants to throw the penalty, but he's like, maybe this was a little confusing. So
there's Big Dave Baines you can see his chest on the right side of your screen.
He's just so much more massive than everybody else.
Yeah, he's a bigger than life player, super nice guy, and one of the best back players in the game. Or ever to play the game, for that matter.
Absolutely.
There's Justin Rabikoff. He's actually going to be going in the box. He's going to be starting with 4 players. 56 seconds is going to be left on this minor penalty for Tampa Bay, so it's going to be 5-on-4 in favor of Infamous. So let's see if they can capitalize on this. What would you do? I mean, honestly, Ryan, obviously you want to shoot somebody in the break, but what side is stronger? Do you think you'd pick one of the corners, or what would you do in this situation?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully none of the teams that we're playing tomorrow are watching this right now, but my penalty play would be get to that Dorito corner, because I believe that's the safer of the two. Get your guns up out of that back center, try to get an elimination off of either one of the sides, and I wouldn't go far on the snake side just because the snake corner is very dangerous. You can run and dive into this little temple right here on the snake side, but going out to that corner, the back center has a really good lane on you. So let's see what these guys do. They're starting with 5 somehow. This is not smart.
Well,
there is a penalty up on the box.
Yeah,
on the thing right now. Maybe they didn't enforce that second.
Yeah, they probably. Well, it's grinding down, so somebody has a penalty, but it's the ghost penalty.
Yeah, and that's something that's going to be really difficult for Infamous, because if they saw that penalty up there, they're assuming they're starting with 4. And if they watch one guy walk off, they might think it's 3 bodies.
Yeah, they might miss that count.
Well, it is a 5-on-4 right now. They did shoot one guy in the break, pretty much.
Infamous is just charging down the field, able to get Brad McCurley all the way into the snake and into the diamond here, and backed up by Bobby Avilas. And here comes Damian Ryan now up to the center of the field, and looks like Damage loses another one. So here comes Infamous. They lose this. They only have 2 players left alive. Damian Ryan past the 50-yard line right there, top part of your screen, and he's going to take out El Yusuf. So it's just
Justin Rabikoff.
They actually got a penalty on that play too, right there, Ryan. Yeah. Another minor penalty assessed on Tampa Bay Damage.
But no one's coming out of the box. See where the confusion is right here?
Yeah.
Is no one came out of the box in that last one because they started with 5 guys.
Yeah. So, and that kind of confused me a little bit. I mean, I think they assessed the penalty, but then they didn't. And then somebody else got a penalty there towards the end. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't even see that flag go up.
The flag went up actually on the far side in that Dorito corner, like you were talking about. It came off of this. I'm not sure who it was.
I think it was the second guy then filling that corner.
Yeah. So right now the score is 2-2. Back and forth points between Damage and Infamous right now. These games are still won and lost on the break, in my opinion. You get 2 or 3 quick Gs.
Oh, well, absolutely. That'll win the game for you anytime. But what some people don't realize is even that first G, this field, especially because there's so many variables, there's so many places you can make moves on, and different areas. You guys have seen the X has been pretty crucial. Those Doritos, there's several spots over there. The snake side, although the diamond's not incredibly dangerous, you can get in there and draw a lot of fire. So losing that first body allows the other team to be play a little looser and get into those spots and capitalize. As soon as someone gets into that diamond, you may not eliminate or get a lot of eliminations out of it, but you're drawing a lot of the other guns, allowing the rest of your team to be able to move up and capitalize.
That's definitely a good breakdown. You know what I'm seeing too, and I think maybe this is because these guys have watched the mornings play, or maybe Damage and Infamous are just playing a little bit more aggressive than other teams, but these points and these moves seem to be coming a lot faster than I saw out of the morning bracket. The morning bracket seemed to play a little bit more conservative. It's always a little bit different. You have the field layout that you practice on, and then when you get out here on the field, there's going to be slight tweaks to it, little tiny differences, but those little tiny differences, the difference between, can I get a blind shot on this guy or can I not get a blind shot on this guy?
Absolutely, and that helps any team to be able to watch how the field plays beforehand.
The red judges right now, the clock is stopped at 30 seconds because the judges are conferring on the field about some call. I'm assuming it's going to be about the minor penalty that was assessed. Is it going to stay on? I'm not really sure, but I'm sure that's exactly what they're discussing right now, Matt.
Yeah, so score now 3-2. Infamous up on Damage, and Damage, they do not want to lose again to Infamous. Damage and Infamous have met 13 times in the last 5 years. Damage has won 8 of the 13 matches with the average point margin of 3.8. Infamous has won 5 of the matches, and when they win with an average point margin of 1.8. So when Damage wins, they blow out Infamous a little bit more. Now, these two teams have met twice in 2012, once in Texas, when Damage won a very close match, 7-6, and then once in Phoenix, where Infamous, they won 6-4. So you know, this match basically has the ability to set the tone for these teams and their performances here in Chicago. I mean, this is their first game of the event.
And Infamous is also coming off of another win in one of the other leagues, you know. So they're up and they're pretty confident. They're having a great time out there.
Well, now it's like you guys came off a win in Europe too.
Yes, we did.
And we talked a little bit about that yesterday, about how that kind of stokes the fire for everyone else. I mean, you and Yosh come back with the W under your belt, and then you know Oliver and Glenn are gonna be like, okay, well we got to step it up.
Yeah, we want to win too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge bonus and a huge boost for everybody is once your team wins. And like I mentioned yesterday, for those who weren't listening, is Maddie, you even get excited for me when I win. So like,
I do.
The team, it gives a new vibe on the field, and hopefully we can take that tomorrow.
And you know, just a little feedback right now. We actually got a minor penalty on number 13 for Tampa Bay Damage. That's Jason Edwards. He was actually in the box. Justin Rabikoff, number 9, actually never went in the box when he was supposed to, so he did not serve it. So I guess we're going to see what gets ironed out down in the field. You know, he's right now. Jason Edwards is probably going to serve that penalty right now. So look for Tampa Bay Damage to actually start with 4 this next point.
Yeah. So that was what happened. Is Justin actually got 2 penalties. He made it in the box for one of them, which came off, and the next game he came out thinking that penalty was off. You know, anytime that I see that there's a penalty up on the board and I see our team in there, I immediately have to ask the refs. And that completely goes on the team itself. Is when you see a penalty up on the board, you need to ask your coach and ask the refs, is that on us? And they'll confirm and say, you know what, it's coming off, or yeah, Justin, you're actually in the box.
Yeah.
You know, don't start with 5.
Yeah.
You definitely do not want to start with 5 when you see that minute clock up there.
sir.
Otherwise, this is what's happening right now. They're playing another 5-on-4 and they're down by 1 point.
Yeah,
So
that's going to hurt.
Yeah, and this could be a really big point right here, as Damage does not want to go down 2 points against Infamous and have Infamous be that much closer to another victory against them. And then if they win this, that'll make it 2 in a row.
Looks like Justin's out there pleading his case again. The clock stopped at 8 seconds. So this will be interesting to see what exactly happens. We were told that Justin should be serving that penalty, but it looks like actually number 13.
Yeah, number 13, that's Jason Edwards.
Jason Edwards is coming back out and serving that penalty.
Right.
All right, there we go. 2.
All right, here we go. And on the breakout, doubling up the back center is Tampa Bay Damage in the purple on your screen.
And Damage and Infamous both lose a player off the break.
So just 3 bodies left alive.
And look at how Nicky capitalized on that, knowing that the snake side is completely empty, and he gets up there.
Yeah, so Nicky smartly goes all the way up to the center A, 50-yard line, and he destroys Chad Boussier, who tries to get out to the corner. And I think Nicky's still shooting at that back corner. I think he might think that that's still hot.
No, it looks like Nicky's waiting for a guy to fill out. Now the problem, or the scary thing about playing with the X in the X, and Chris, you know this, is you look one way and a guy fills the other.
Yeah.
Or if you look one way to shoot somebody, you can never be totally sure if a guy fills or not. So I think Nicky was just being taking a precaution.
And look at Nicky now, all the way past the 50-yard line into Damage's side of the field. He takes out Timmy Prost, and he comes up and takes out Dan Holiday and waves up the rest of his team and immediately guns up on the box, and he's going to destroy Justin Rabikoff if Justin even wants to come out. I don't know, Justin's probably going to tap
Jason
out.
Edwards.
Oh, it is Jason Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Edwards, minor penalty. So, wow, Nicky Cuba is stepping up for Infamous right now. Very clutch points for him. He had a really good point earlier down the Dorito side. Now this time goes up the center. Looks like he got 3 kills. So Nicky Cuba.
Good field awareness right there by Nicky, getting up the field up there, you know, shutting the whole side of the field down. You know, had his head in the swivel, getting up there in the 50. And like you said, I don't know how many times I've got up there and I look towards the snake and all of a sudden somebody fills the 50 Dorito, probably one of you guys, and just blows my head off.
And look at this, Todd Martinez, coach and host, Todd Martinez doing double duty here at the PSP Chicago Open as usual. And he's breaking it down. That's Brad McCurley there with his goggles up, and that's
Bobby Aviles.
Yeah, Bobby Aviles
right there, getting some last-minute tips before he heads back out there. Now, this will be interesting to see if Todd's going to practice what he preaches here and if he's going to put Nicky back in. My suggestion is yes, because those 2 games that Infamous did really well and won, Nicky was in and doing damage. Okay?
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see.
And, you know, Nicky is fighting through a knee injury that's plagued him. You know, I mean, he's got a partially torn MCL. No, sorry, PCL. And he has to play on that all year because he wants to be out there for his team. The doctor said, look, you can have the surgery now, you can have the surgery later. You can play, but it's probably going to hinder you slightly. But I'll tell you what, man, Nicky Cuba's been playing really well this year, especially towards the mid part of the season.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to actually have him sit out a point right now. You've got Bobby Aviles out there with Damian Ryan, Brad McCurley, Chris Sosine, and Zach Patient. On the flip side, I think we have Justin Rabikoff over here. Props. I'm trying to think who else is down there right now, but I mean, it's like they have their fast squad out there right now, Maddie. And
Jason Edwards.
Yeah, there you go. He's out of the box finally. Probably happy about that. Going to start here in about 3 seconds. Split screen breakout. Infamous on your right. Damage on your left.
Damage losing a guy out of that Dorito corner. Infamous is doing a spectacular job of shooting that guy. I think that's the second or third time they've hit him, and that's a hard guy to shoot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now.
And I think that was Bobby Aviles, because Bobby Aviles...
Bobby's shooting Snake Way right now.
Okay.
It could have been Damien or Chris Sosine, one of those two.
Damage just lost a player out of the back center, so we have Justin Rabikoff right here filling the Snake side.
But Infamous loses Damian Ryan, add Brad McCurley as well, so only 3 players left alive for them.
See, and that's that comeback that you cannot let a team do that. You can't get overexcited. You know, you're up by 2 points. You're up on bodies. You cannot lose that gunfight.
You know, and that's something, Ryan, you're really good at. I don't really ever see you just see the blood in the water and just make some sort of needless run, big bite all the way somewhere, you know, and get destroyed. You know, so like Brad makes that move and he gets picked off, and then Damian Ryan, he makes a move, he gets picked off, right. And they didn't need to make those moves, right?
They did not need to make those moves. You know, they were up on bodies, they were up on points. This is a textbook example of how you kind of could possibly blow a game. Now, Infamous has made it out to the spots, and they're going to be able to possibly keep this game, the momentum in their favor.
You know, we got right there, you got Bobby Aviles in the middle of your screen, back up the corner for Infamous. Rami Al-Youssef up in the diamond for Tampa Bay Damage in your screen right there, shooting across the field, trying to get a shot on Zach Patient.
Yeah, and Rumsey, he's the one making sure that Tampa Bay Damage hasn't lost this point yet. I think he was the one that got a shot on Brad McCurley, and now he's the thorn in the side. Ooh. And Infamous, I think, is that and then Rumsey Al-Youssef gets shot. I was going to say, I think that is Sewers over there in the Dorito, and he just head checked and dodged a paintball.
Yeah, look, J-Raz.
Oh, didn't dodge that one.
Oh, wow. Now it's looks like, what is this, a 2-on-1?
Yeah.
This is something that you can't lose, especially when there's a guy in the back center. Like, you have the ability to put the pinch on him really hard. And you need to get around this corner.
Well, and interestingly enough, one of the best plays from Phoenix was Chris Sosine playing an epic one-on-one against Justin Rabikoff, and he made that amazing over the top of a stand-up jump shot. Yeah. It was just flawless.
Yeah, Bobby needs to capitalize on this. And when Justin's looking one way, you gotta switch to the other side. It looks like Justin's having some gun issues. Maybe possibly his loader. He's shaking. Out in the open, this is another good thing that Justin's really good at is being able to play that blind. Look at how calm he is just sitting in the open of the field.
Yeah, he's got really amazing composure. Well, that's because he's been playing paintball since he was about 6 years old.
Yeah.
Justin Rabikoff.
Somehow he's still, there it is.
Finally gets taken out. You know, Justin Rabikoff, son of sideline reporter and paintball legend Steve Rabikoff. And I mean, I remember playing against Justin when I was on the Ironman. I first got on the Ironman in '98, and Justin Rabikoff was coming out and playing with us when he was about, I think, 11 years old or something like that.
So, I remember we used to beat that kid up all the time. He's come a long way.
He has come a long way. I mean, he was kind of a rowdy little kid, and you know what you do to rowdy little kids. Yeah. But he's matured nicely, and you know, he's a really good guy now, and he's really kind of helping the sport. I mean, I know he kind of gets a little wild sometimes, but you know, that's kind of live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah, I think we were all that way at one point in our life. I mean,
but he's a great player, and he does a lot for the sport. Being able, he travels a lot, you know, and that's huge.
Teaches clinics. Speaking of clinics, Ryan, you know, we have a big international audience, you know, in 127 different countries.
Wow.
So how would people get in touch with you if they wanted you to come to a clinic somewhere and Tunisia or something like
or
crazy.
wherever. Well, actually, I'm doing one in Venezuela in the first weekend in July, and then I'm going with Bear de Digio up to into Italy, into Venice, and then the weekend after that, I'm going to the Crash of the Coast in Puerto Rico. So 3 weeks in a row, I'll be doing 3 different continents.
Yeah, I'll be there with Puerto Rico. That'll be a good. That's gonna be a good trip.
You make that sound like that's something you're not used. I mean, dude, you're gone all the time, man. Come on.
Exactly.
But you can follow on Twitter at Ryan Greenspan, on any of my Facebook pages. You can email me at ryangreenspan18@gmail.com and ask about clinics. I'd like to set them up anywhere in the world. I especially like to travel just because, like you said, there's so many international followers, and what a lot of people don't know is that paintball's played in over 120 plus countries around the world, and being able to reach out to the fan base everywhere else is not only a good experience for us to be able to travel, but
it's good for the sport.
It's great for the sport.
Yeah.
And it's able where everybody can be able to see us in videos or on the webcast or whatever it is, and you'll actually get out there and be able to experience and have some fun with some of the talent. And I know that there's a good amount of players out there that do that.
Well, you're like a paintball Johnny Appleseed, man. Just spreading paintball skill around the world.
Spreading paintball skill.
All right, speaking of skills, let's check out this replay right here. All right, so it's Bobby Aviles, and he is probing for a way to get up there, and this is it. There's only one player.
You can see this shot right here.
Yeah, and look at this. This is a great angle right here. And Justin, just not much he could do at that point, but this is what you were talking about, Ryan. See how he plays that blind area, and a lot of people will be like, oh my God, he's just out in the open.
He's just out in the open,
But what he's doing is he's using that pin there on the right-hand side of your screen to block out the right-hand portion of that diamond, and then you see the move being made by a very confident Chris Sosin as he pushes up that side and is able to finally get a shot on Justin Rabikoff. So, you know, and you know who's really impressed me? Chris Sosin. I mean, that guy has really progressed as a player over the years. Came out of the Aftershock crew. He's one of the, Drew Templeton and Brad McCurley and Chris Sosin came over from Chicago Aftershock in the offseason to really kind of bolster the roster of Infamous, as Infamous has rebuilt their team. You know, Travis Lemansky out of Detroit now as he moved from California to Detroit, and he really kind of wanted to go back, or not even go back, because Infamous has always been a team full of superstars, but he wanted kind of a more of a blue-collar work ethic based out of the Midwest, and right now the only player that they have from California is Bobby Aviles.
Yeah.
You know, and speaking of Bobby, he's one of those clutch players that could at any time just win a game, 5-on-1s. I've seen him do it over and over before, and he's such a great paintball player, and he always keeps a level head. And Ryan, you talked about how J-Rab was keeping himself composed last game, and that's exactly how Bobby is too.
You got to stay calm out there, really, if you want to be able to capitalize.
And Infamous is looking so strong right now. The score 5-2. They're 2 points away from victory. 9 minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock as we're looking at Keith Brown from Tampa Bay Damage, number 17. And he is trying to get something done over here on the diamond side of the field.
It looks like it's an even breakout for both teams. Well, they just lost Nicky off of that Dorito side.
They lost Nicky. They still got Chris Sos over there. And here comes Keith Brown making his move to the insert bunker right behind the diamond. No aggression going on the Dorito side of the field for Damage as they lose. I think that's Holiday coming off early for Tampa Bay.
So now we're looking at a 4-on-4 right here, and we're matched up pretty evenly on this snake side. It looks like J-Rab is in that snake corner again, right behind Brown, trying to back him up with another broken loader.
He's just not having any luck
so
today.
He's not having luck, and that's the worst. Is when you go out there and you get your equipment fixed, you think, and then come back out with something else with an issue. So there's J-Rab right there. It's actually back up and running, laying out right over the top of the snake. And this is huge. He's got to be able to stay alive, and he's got to be able to get some production.
Now Keith Brown right there on the side of your screen, locking down Chris Sosin from coming up the Dorito side of the field right now.
Yeah, and Drew Templeton, he's in a good position right now, and there's still a ton of time off the clock, so I wouldn't want to slow play it too much if I was Infamous. This is not really one of those positions, and Tampa Bay is not the team that you want to do that to. You don't want to play that game with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay kind of coming up the ranks was, it's a team that was formed with a majority of the original Strange players, and Strange was known for a very lockout style of paintball, very conservative defensive style, but they have really morphed into one of the more aggressive teams in the league. With players like Brad McCurley, with players like Chad Boussier,
Keith Brown, Justin Rabikoff, all those guys put a different bit of heat under there.
Timmy Probst.
And right there, losing number 31, Jacob Edwards taking the walk on the far side of the Dorito field.
Yeah, that was a move that was a little bit out of desperation. He had to get outside because Damage did not have any presence over on that Dorito side. And once Travis was able to fill to the corner and Sosin was able to get to that Dorito 1, you can't be bottled up in the center. The move now would be to get I believe this is what is it, Drew in the corner, and we need to get Infamous's Cali right there. This is the move right here. He needs to go up there and get that kill. He needs to just sacrifice himself and get that kill.
Yeah, he needs to get Brown out of there, and then he goes back.
That was
scary.
Scary move. He needs to go trade out with Brown. Look, Justin Rabikoff in that corner behind Brown. I know it's really difficult to tell that, but his loader was off his gun just a second ago, having issues again. If Cali gets this kill in the snake, it's going to free up all the Dorito side runners, because what's happening is when you're playing on that Dorito side, Sosin's a little worried about Keith here in this snake, because he can get a shot on him.
And Keith's just posted up. Now, at a certain point, though, down 3 points with 6 minutes and 23 seconds.
Oh, that was an awesome shot. I'm not sure if everybody saw that. Chris Sosin shot across the field, bouncing it off this back pin, off the bunker, and hit Keith in the back of the head.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Keith Brown is just shaking his head in dejected disappointment right now, walking off going, really?
Yeah.
Really? Did that just happen?
That was a great shot. I mean, I was sitting here looking. I was like, I was looking at the screen. You see at the top of your head the really yellow bunker in front of Kevin Rudolph right there.
Yeah.
He was actually bouncing it off
actually that snake 1 pin would bounce it off, I believe.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That snake, this diamond right here, is so tight. Like I said, you got to go in there and draw the fire. That's the biggest thing you need to do. So you know, Brown was down the tape, just kind of drawing that fire, but you saw how important that elimination was. As soon as he shot that guy, the damage threw in the towel and conceded the point. So if Drew had made that move and bunkered him out, like I said, even if it was a trade out, Damage may have been forced to throw in the towel again. So that was that key elimination. Get him off, and it's going to free up all the rest of the movement down on the other side of the field.
And Infamous is just playing so tight right now. They're doing everything right. They're up 6-2. They're 1 point away from victory. It's a race to 7 in case you're unaware. 20 minutes of regulation play. Only 5 minutes and 54 seconds left to go. And Infamous really, like I said before in the run-up to this match, is they have been constantly ramping up their level of competition this year. They're really taking it upon themselves to not let somebody else make the move. And that's one of those things. They've struggled with that in the past, having such a star-studded lineup, is that they're always waiting for someone else to make that game-breaking move, but they're really taking it upon themselves. And I think you got to give a lot of that credit to, well, of course, you know, each one of those players, and then but the leaders on that team, the Nicky Cubas on that team, the Travis Lemanskis, and ultimately Todd Martinez for getting in these players' heads and making them understand that they have the talent to win at this level, not just win, you know, on a kind of a mediocre level like they have been the past couple seasons, but to actually go out and dominate against what you could say is one of the best rosters in paintball.
Right, and right there you actually just saw what you were talking about, that leadership of Nicky Cuba, you know, screaming, getting his guys pumped up. That's a huge thing, you know. Right there, you saw on your screen was Nicky Cuba yelling to his team and getting them up, getting them pumped up for this game, because although it's 6-2, you know, the curtains are shutting on Damage's game here. They can still come back. You can score 4 points
in 6 minutes. You can do that.
Uncontested, obviously.
Well, let's see if they can get it done here on your screen. There they go, breaking out hard and aggressive. Chad Boucher now up the center of the field instead of on the Dorito side. And then right there on your screen, that's number 12 for Tampa Bay Damage, Ramzi El-Yusuf. And he's going to try to get as quick as he possibly can to that insert bunker right behind the diamond. 5 players alive for Damage, and it looks like Infamous also have 5 players alive as well. Doubling up that back center. That
back center gets really tight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. And that's Bobby Aviles coming out here rolling his gun on this Dorito side. And Infamous actually just lost their Dorito corner.
That's Brad McCurley coming out of here on the diamond side of the field.
So this is a point where if Infamous doesn't get outside, they shot El-Yusuf. That's a huge elimination for Bobby Aviles. And it looks like he may have just made it up to that small temple. If he did, then Chad Boucher missed a really, really, really important key shot.
Oh, well, look at this. Chad Boucher getting a kill over on the Dorito side. So bodies are starting to fall for both teams. Must-win situation right here. If they lose this point, they lose the game. Again, it's a race to 7. And Infamous is just chopping bodies up, and here comes the aggressive push of Damage. They're past the 50-yard line. They're trying to push into the last 2 players left alive for Infamous, and Chris Sosin and Bobby Aviles are trying to get as small as they possibly can in those bunkers.
Somehow he's living in that back center. I don't know how that's happening exactly. but it's a 3-on-2, and they're in the horrible positions.
Yeah, Bobby is just gunfighting for his life right now. As you can see on your screen, that's Bobby Villas, dead center of your screen, gunfighting for his life. And here comes...
This is the move right there.
Yeah, Holiday
There's
cuts
one.
through the center, takes one down and takes the other. And here comes the Edwards. Edwards, the older.
the elder Edwards.
Yeah.
And Timmy Props taking in the flag for Tampa Bay Damage, running it in, making it a 3-6 game. You know, like you said, you could score 4 points, Ryan.
Yeah, but they took 2 minutes to do it. Ooh, and a minor penalty on Timmy.
That
Looks
means
like,
it's
did he
a
try to
dirty
hang?
hang.
Yeah, dirty hang. So
That just takes the wind out of your sails. So that's gonna. What happens is usually if there's a dirty hang for you at home, if there's a dirty hang, there will be no point. They'll assess a minor penalty and they will start with 4 players the next point.
Wow. Well, they did put the point up on the board, but I believe they're going to take that back.
Yeah.
And they're going to start with 4, and that's gonna make it much more difficult to score those 4 points.
Yes. No, and that's just after having a game like that, you know, it's just too bad. You know, you get a look right there. Timmy Props, he unfortunately doesn't look too happy about that situation. But hey, you know, there's 3 guys in the field. There's really no reason for you not to check each other. Yeah,
and going back to scoring those those points really quick, I'll let you know that in Phoenix, Damage actually scored a 15-second point against Infamous. So it can happen. Consecutive 15-second points or under a minute's points, that's going to be very difficult. That's actually the fastest point that we've seen, I believe. And then just to give you an idea, there's been 30-second points happening at every event several times. So I think we've seen a couple today already. But it can happen. So Damage is not out of this.
Well, it looked like...
By any means.
Well, it looks like it was a talking penalty.
Okay. So that's not a dirty hand.
Yeah, talking penalty for, I believe, it was number 13. So that's Jason Edwards getting a talking penalty. So unfortunately for Damage, they're going to have to play the next minute with 4 bodies. And they only have 4 minutes and 2 seconds left to score 3 points. Again, like Ryan was just talking about, absolutely possible, but not that probable. They've only scored 3 points so far.
And they're still taking ground over this on this Snake side, you know, getting into this front Dorito so they can get in there. Oh, they shot him off. Infamous shot him off the break though. So now.
Oh, and then they get
J-Rab.
another shot in on J-Rab. So only 2 players in the back corner and the back center left for Tampa Bay Damage. And now Nicky Cuba going up to the center of the field. And here comes Infamous on their full court press, as Callie Rudolph is sharking down the field to try to get a shot on the last player left alive and put the exclamation point in the coffin nail in this game.
And that's the games coming up on 7-3 for Infamous. Winning that point very strongly with 4 bodies alive.
So that is going to do it here for this matchup as Nicky Cuba gets checked out by the referee. And Nicky Cuba just playing phenomenal for this particular matchup. And, you know, he's, again, playing injured, man. He's got one of those ligaments in his knee. The one on the backside of the knee is blown. It's not a complete tear, and the doctor said he could play on it. But, man, you know, that's just a testament to the heart of Nicky Cuba and his ability to fight through struggles and really helping out Infamous.